Ready, little dog? You ready, monkey butt? We gotta get the monkey butt squared away there. All right. Hello, everyone. Look at that shiny shirt. Holy smokes, this thing. This is Andrew Stewart sent this one to me last week. This is Shiny Shirt Week, day 24, the longest week of the year. And this thing is, if you are watching in a dark room right now, I just ruined your night. Your night vision is gone. You're squinting. Your pupils are constricting. And this shirt is just boom. Oh my God. Julio, this is what I'm going to wear to Miami when we're hanging out next week. This is going to wear this every day. And the sun's going to reflect off of me, and I'm going to be like the coolest guy, both physically and metaphorically in all of LA, or all of Miami. So, welcome. I have started back up at the gym. Buff Houston's coming back. I am exhausted. My titties, very sore. My arms, very sore. My butt, very sore. My thighs, very sore. Everything about me feels like I'm a giant walking bruise. Oh yeah, and you're gonna get the mustache. This is the last day of the mustache. It was just so nice I couldn't get rid of all of it. So I did the weekend with the mustache, and tomorrow it's gonna disappear because I'm sick of thinking I'm eating hair in my food. All right, what's going on today? We had Ryan Cohen tweeted out a quote from Mike Tyson talking about how, why do people want to get rid of pigeons? They never harmed anybody. And then I guess the chairman or the president of Lego tweeted about pigeons as well. That's caused a lot of speculation to happen. Also, my camera's all skewed. Also, we have a notice came from the SEC saying, hey, BBBY, there's this registration you made, and you haven't done anything with it in 9 months, so we're going to cancel it. Now, I was under the impression that this had to do with the registration for the 300 million shares they're going to sell. And then they're like, no, all right, we're canceling it. But they canceled that back in end of September when they did all the filings. And they changed their name to Butterfly. Then somebody pointed out the notice has to do with the debt for equity swap they were doing. So they're going to do like collateral bonds so that people would get shares, if stock price at a certain price, whatever, and they wouldn't have to worry about paying that stuff back and wipe out a lot of their debt. But then JP Morgan was like, no, brah. So that resulted in the financing coming in to pay off JP Morgan, get them out of there. Then the whole bankruptcy thing, and there we are today. GameStop's flying. It went to 17 and what did it finish at today? I forgot. 16.98. So it bounced off 17 and made all the way up to 17.39, and now it's just kind of sitting at about $17 in the after hours. My guess is, unless there's freakish news in the earnings, they're going to pump this guy up as close to $20 as they can. And then no matter what the earnings is, they're just going to short it right back down after hours. But if there's something spectacular in the earnings, like they beat earnings by a significant amount, profitable by 10 cents a share or something, and just whoop on earnings by like 30 cents, you might see a climb. But I don't think Ryan wants to do a positive earnings until quarter 4, like he did last year. So to turn and be like, oh, this whole year was profitable. Yay us. That's where we are. But anyway, Alexander sent us a new intro just for Speculation Station. This is the new Speculation Station intro. It's glorious. Soak it in. Oh, you know what?
Houston, we have a
I
problem.
just realized this thing is like zoomed way in. Oh my gosh. One sec. Okay, how do I fix this thing? I cropped that terribly. Okay. So if I turn it back on and I move it around. Oh my gosh, the cropping was terrible. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Like that. So I gotta go like that. So I gotta go up here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you fill up there. Oh,
Houston, we have a problem.
There we go. That'll work. Yeah. Andrew, I might need a version that fits the widescreen. All right. Turn that off. You already got it twice because I had to fix it. A special intro for calculator game. I like the idea of that. We got a couple of presents. There's 2 more coming apparently. My sister won't tell me what they are, but there are 4 Charity Tuesday at the end of the month. We're raising money for Shriners Hospital. Currently, one of the winners will receive a special mug. Ooh, with shiny shirts. And then, like last year, we've got the kind of sort of a suggestion from one of the viewers who wants us to do a charity for his dad's charity. I'm told him we got to get the charity set up on YouTube. We can do that. But I'm thinking an award just for the person who donates the most on Charity Tuesday, that they would then, or at least for this Charity Tuesday, they would then get to select what January's Charity Tuesday is going to be. Any nonprofit that's listed with YouTube that they want, and we can totally do it, right? So think about that. Okay. Oh, Cat, you want in? Of course you want in. You always want in. Get in. Come on, Fatso. Come on. Don't just sit there and meow out the door. Come on. There you go. All right, rock and roll. Okay, so Wells Fargo no longer does home equity loans. Done. They're like, no, we don't do it anymore. The last time we saw major banks stop doing home equity loans was April of 2008. What was going on in 2008? If you guys can think of that, let me know. But my feeling is that you don't want to be in the home equity loan business when all the equity in homes is about to plummet and crash, right? You want to be like, hey, we're going to give you a $100,000 line of credit because your home you bought for $400,000 is now worth $600,000. And then the home they bought for $400,000 5 months from now is worth $350,000. And now you're shit out of luck. And I think that's, he said you need an intro for Chalupa entrance. just a tuba going boom, 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 boom. Anyway, shit's hitting the fan. Gold prices have gone bonkers this week. They rocketed yesterday and today. They kind of settled out a little bit, but gold's hitting all-time highs. Bitcoin is flying. We're not. I think we got to get ready for whatever weird rug pull is going to happen on this stuff, because basically people flee the market and head towards gold when they think the market's going to shit the bed. And you should get all-time gold highs after the market has shit the bed, but we're getting it before. That doesn't make any sense. In the last time we saw a huge pumping of all crypto and all of it, Shiba Inu, even like Terra Luna is flying right now. Like what the company doesn't even exist anymore. Why is that flying? So criminal organizations, their shit coins are going through the roof right now. I'm expecting full-on rug pull at some point, and that's going to feed the liquidity issues for some of these hedge funds and market makers as they've got to pay out a bunch of money for shorts on meme stocks. That huge swap, there's actually multiple swaps, a $quadrillion swap. There's more of them in the hundreds of trillions of dollars that are all set to trigger at some point. Like the 15th is only a week, 11 days away, a week and a half away. And nobody wants to pick up a $1 quadrillion equity swap. Doesn't make like who? Cat, do you want it? You're fatso. You can handle it. You're a fat cat, right? A literal fat cat. Would you like to have the burden of a $1 quadrillion equity swap? You want to be responsible for the downfall of the entire derivatives market? We can put on you can be like Jesus, financial Jesus, for us. He's on the floor. He's going, no. So, what's on your minds? What's happening? The BBBY remastered, the Meltdown subreddit. Yesterday, they no bueno. They went private, and I made fun of them for it. And then one of the mods jumped into my thread making fun of them. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what happened. I made it public again." And I was like, "All right, so what do you guys delete?" He's like, "Why would we delete anything?" I'm like, "Well, why else would you go private?" And then people were like, "Oh, but they're shutting down." I'm like, no, they said they're going to turn off comments on the 31st, but leave it open as for posterity. So what were they doing? Then they shut it down again overnight. And it was shut down all day until like sometime this evening, and they opened it back up again. And then they said it was my fault. They photoshopped a screen grab of, yes, Houston Wade accepted to be moderator of this group. And then Houston Wade immediately made the group private. And like, they're trying to blame me. I'm like, buddy, I don't have a mod queue when I type in there. And I was blocked from the group as well when it went private. So how am I supposed to make it private and then withdraw as mod? And yeah. Anyway, so they're currently spinning. It's hilarious. I noticed a thing, because I love fighting with the shills because they're stupid. They'll be like, the company's dead. You lost. It's over. I'm like, well, the company's not dead. The butterfly still exists. They don't have any assets. You're like, well, they've got like upwards of $10 billion in nulls. So they have technically billions of dollars in assets. You know, they didn't preserve the nulls. Like, well, actually, you look into the legal fee statements, and the reason why the unsecured creditors could not monetize the nulls is because the nulls have been preserved and carried forward. Like, they're being used into whatever the dip facility is doing when they're going to do their credit bid. So yes, they technically have been preserved. The legal findings, the legal statements state just that. Like, we couldn't monetize them because they've been preserved. Next, they're like, well, you're not going to get anything. Like, well, IRS Rule 382. If there's a credit bid and the secured debt holders get the company and they want to utilize those nulls, they got to give us our shares back, right? New equity in this new company. And, oh, there's a whole nother cat in here. I have no idea you were in here, Orange Cat. Where the hell did you come from? This cat's just like climbing out of walls in here. All right. Here. Orange Cat, come here. Monkey, leave Orange Cat alone. There we go. Come say hi to everybody, Orange Cat. You've been hiding in the wall for some reason. Anyway, then you point out like that, but that's what IRS Rule 382 is all about. And then they just change the subject. They're like, you're just reading tea leaves and children's books. I'm like, actually, I have not. Personally, I've never posted anything about children's books. The weird tinfoil stuff. I've never posted that to Reddit. We've mentioned on here sometimes when people want to bring it up, but it's like not been part of my main thesis. Like, it's cool, it's fun, it's as out there as it can be, and that's fun stuff to talk about. But the documents filed with the court and the SEC are the important ones. And they never really seem to have an answer for that. Like, oh, we're going to do nice. Hey guys, no cat fights. Monkey, get up here. There's like, I have a couple of file boxes over here and they're just like climbing all over it and kicking the shit out of each other right now. Fun times. And the monkey cam froze already. What the? That was like the quickest monkey cam freeze of all time. Dude. El Gato. Get your shit together. It's a wacky night going on tech-wise here at Casa de Houston. And I don't know. I need you guys to keep me on track at the moment. So anyway, shill suck. Shirt's shiny. Mustache is here for one more day. My entire body feels like I was put into a hydraulic press. And I'm thoroughly exhausted. So what's on your minds? What's on your nine? Okay, so. Oh, okay, orange. Oh, God damn it. Okay, get out of here, orange cat. No one wants you in here anyway. Run away. 754 made it first. Like, right after I put this show up. He says, Yas. DRG78. Houston, I'm traveling to Oslo soon. Have you been? If so, any recommendations? Thanks. I was in Oslo last October of 2010. What did we see while we were there? We went to, there's like a big park in central Oslo that has a whole bunch of sculptures made by some German guy. Lots of babies and gymnastic stuff. It's pretty neat. I went up to the ski jumping thing, and there's like a big stave church up there. Went to the Fram Museum. The Fram Museum is actually pretty cool. It was one of the exploration ships that went into like the Arctic and whatnot. And the one thing I have no idea 13 years later if this would be the case, but I should have bought a Norwegian sweater from the gift shop at the Fram Museum because they were like $45 US. Well, everywhere else I went, they were like $500 US. So I should have done that. I don't know how long you're going to be there, but I highly recommend taking the train ride from Oslo to Bergen. It's like 9 hours, but it is beautiful. You pass through glaciers and all sorts of things. This time of year, I have no idea what you can see. It's probably just dark, but you'll see anything. So winter things to do. I'm sure there's skiing. There's that really cool tunnel that's a spiral inside of a mountain and you pop out the top. That one's really cool. Get some Norwegian pizza with corn on it. They have corn and ground beef. They put that on pizza there. It's very Midwestern. Eat some pickled fish. Yeah, I think that's the Norwegian experience I had. So, by all means, duplicate it. Kelly Reed. We've had so many DD writers go quiet mode. My best guess is that they are just silently watching it unfold. No theory's been disproven, and we only see repeated evidence on a massive scale. What I find interesting is that dork-ass shills are starting their apology tour. You got guys like Short Destroyer and Morantz who are like, I'm so sorry. I apologize. We should be together. We shouldn't yell at people and we're all in this thing together. And then Morantz liked a post on Twitter that was like, yeah, Morantz has been compromised. He's like, yes, I have. So some people's children. Anyway, yeah. I think the big thing is that on Wednesday, BBBY files their superseding complaint in the case, and hopefully by Wednesday night or Thursday, they file, dismiss, and or settle with Ryan Cohen, and the whole thing is done. Dunzo, brah. Finished. Finito. Pump and dump case out. Fireworks can begin. That's my current tomorrow theory. So tomorrow's today. Person no name. IEP and GME are the same price right now within pennies. Andrew Stewart, Houston. I'm tired of speculation station. It's time for flatulation nation. Well, you can get the party started with, if you get everybody shiny shirts, we can do some shiny farts everywhere. Confidence Homer. Nice to see GME with green volume, 4 times average volume. With green volume and 4 times average volume. Yeah, the volume has been insane. What was volume today? It was Badoink. GME volume today was 19, so 20 million today. Not quite the 60 million we had last week, but still 4 times the normal volume. Noted. Cheshire, Houston. What do you think of Pulte's tweet regarding our legal rights for answers regarding our shares? What does today's docket mean for shareholders? I love ya. Hugs for Monkey Butt and Batman. Well, Batman, you displaced the dog again. That's cool. Monkey Butt's on the floor. I'm moving real slow because everything feels like my body is just been pulverized by a meat tenderizer. And not sure of all the things Pulte tweeted. I got sent a couple like, hey, check out this Pulte tweet, and then he had deleted them, so I didn't get to see those. And because I'm not on Twitter anymore, I don't really see them as it comes through. I just have to open up in a browser and see what it is someone sends me to. So not quite sure what questions you're asking there, but maybe I'll have some clarification. I can jump in there later. Jason Blackwell, Houston. Why does Mr. Pibb come in a can? He doesn't have a girlfriend at the moment. Okay, I get it. All right. Brandon Moore's here. Bex, I'm officially at the I can't look point. I really can't. If things blow up, someone send me a text. Mick Batista. What time, Houston, tonight? Well, right now, baby. Different lime, Houston. This void of things quietly happening but nothing changing BBY is killing me. I would like to be at the reminiscing in my study, however, that study, I can't read. I think my brain's tired too. But nothing changing with BBY is killing me. I would like to be at the reminiscing in my study over how I became rich phase already. That'd be lovely. Or at least like comfortable or student loans gone type thing, right? It's let's put it this way. I would rather be in like a giant wood-paneled study with a fireplace and just a healthy library all in one spot, not in like 5 desperate rooms. Someday. Comfy leather recliner behind me, Monkey Butt laying on a bearskin rug in front of the fireplace, crackling while I read to you, Dickens novels or something. Avocado, sorry I can't stay up. Taking Ellery neighbor to doctor tomorrow early. Looking forward to replay. Well, Ava, we'll see you later. Guts for the long term. Party time, excellent. Crayola, just for breakfast, just got bored twiddling thumbs. I've twiddled so many thumbs recently. The thumb twiddling is just... and these would be like sounds that happen like a music box, like tink, 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 as the thumbs go. Okay, read. Margin calls from clearinghouses seen stoking future crisis. Central clearinghouses holding over $1 trillion in assets may exacerbate periods of financial stress, creating marginal spirals that can push down asset prices, according to researchers from the Bank of International Settlements. With crypto, gold, and major indexes at all-time highs, I can't imagine we won't have margin calls soon. Ding! Exactly. And banks are stopping acting like banks. Their job. You're a bank. Your job is to give people loans using the money that depositors are giving you. But deposits are down, and you're not giving loans because A, no one can afford them, and B, you don't have the money, right? So you're cutting back on credit card offers. You're cutting back on home mortgages. You're cutting back on home equity. You're cutting back on personal loans. You're cutting back on business lines of credit. If you're a bank and you're not giving loans, are you really a bank at that point? Right? Like, what are you doing? Nothing. You're taking money and then what? How are you going to make a profit if you aren't giving any loans? The reverse repo is drawn down to $700 billion from $2.2 trillion just, 4 months ago? 5 months ago? So banks are having a liquidity crisis. They cannot afford to have that stuff. They can't afford to have that money in the reverse repo pulling down 4 to 6% a day or a night. Or their interest, whatever their interest is. So they have to spend that money now. They don't have any more money. Deposits are way down. No one has cash. Shit's too expensive. They're spending too much money trying to live. People are going underwater on their mortgages as they reset globally. Chinese real estate's garbage. Japanese stock market and yen is garbage. British economy is garbage. Real estate is garbage. We may have a Supreme Court that just gets rid of regulations in general so that there's no way to enforce any laws anywhere, and we become a nation of anarchist chaos full of flim-flam mans and paper moons. So something's going to give. We still have a long-term budget for the U.S. government, so that too. Scott Pollen, Jamie gonna go when she's ready. Sandra Stewart, Houston, can artificial electromagnetic fields be generated for spacecraft to protect astronauts from radiation? We have to think about ways you would create that. So a moving charge creates an electromagnetic field. A moving charge takes energy. So if you're going to have a moving charge inside a spaceship, you're going to have an incredible amount of energy, especially one that's going to block charged particles. You're going to need an incredible amount of energy that I do not think we currently have technology to create. Maybe with fusion reactors we could. But like as particles hit a magnetic field, they are moving. They're usually moving like speed of light. So there's a lot of momentum as they hit that magnetic field, and they may hit the magnetic field and decay into weird things, but by the time they hit the magnetic field, they're passing through the ship and through everybody else as perhaps a different form of charged particle. The two keys to us surviving on Earth is that we have a huge magnetic field and we have a relatively thick atmosphere. So as these particles come from outer space, they hit the magnetic field, they ionize, they change, they can get trapped in that magnetic field, and the momentum will carry them through the atmosphere until they kind of slow down. And then they don't kill us. Every once in a while they get through, and then you have that moment where it hits your brain and you go, what was I doing? Which is where I feel like I am today. But there's just not a thick, giant atmosphere like miles thick for the spaceship. So you'd have just the magnetic field. And unless your magnetic field is like the size of Jupiter's, I think it's still, the momentum of that particle is still going to carry through the ship. So the key is water. Hydrogen molecules, so you get 2 hydrogen and oxygen and water, do a great job stopping the momentum of charged particles. They absorb that energy really quickly. So if you've seen Avenue 5, is that what the show is? The one on HBO, it's hilarious. It's got Dr. House on there. There's an episode where the sewage breaks, and they basically run the sewage through the body of the ship to block the hazardous particles, and then the sewage pipe breaks, and they are all going to die of cancer unless they can fix it. And then they get this like shit ring that follows the ship around and orbits the ship as they fly through space, which is just some of the most beautiful physics and something that could actually happen I've ever seen in a sci-fi. Someone was asking the other day about best sci-fis. Is Avenue 5? That's what it's called, I think. It is brilliant. Like, as somebody who has a master's degree in space studies, they nailed it. Like, beautiful. Highly recommend it. Check it out. Anonymous. How long will the market go when this bomb goes off? Well, how low? Can't read. I'm dead. Remember, I got hit with space particles. How low? Quite. I think the lows we saw from the crash in March 2020 from COVID, I think we go lower. We lost, let's see here, how it was. Okay, let's go to maximum. All right, so 2008, we were topping off at like 14, 15,000, and we dropped down to 7. So we dropped 50%. 2020, we're at 28,000, and we dropped down to 19, which I think was 37%. So we can definitely drop 50% in the Dow, SPY, you name it, and then we'll bounce back. So it might take a month or two to get through the real bad stuff. Between July, well, the peak was October 2007. The real crash started in May 2008, and that's when it went down, 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 and it lasted till about March, April 2009. So that's, you're looking at a 9-month plork, whereas the crash that happened from COVID was a 1 month. It went from 28,000, almost 29,000, down to 19 in a month. Lost 37% of its value. And we would have lost more if we didn't start printing money. But basically we're like, hey, free money. And everyone's like, okay, I'll buy stocks. And then the Dow was saved. Despite the fact that revenues are down and supply chains suck and, people can't do things that they wanted to do. The market was doing great. But I think it can go drop 50%. So we're at 36,000 right now. So we could drop to 18. Yeah, I think we could totally do that. So, maybe when the shit hits the fan, you got your cash. You wait till that thing hits around 18% and fill her up, baby. Meow meow. Could someone please make an intro with cute llamas jumping around? Wouldn't be me. Somebody else can have to do that for you there, meow meow. But by all means, take on meow meow will commission you to make a llama jumping around one. Or just llama staring at you going. All right. Hi, buddy. You're upset that you don't have a seat, but that's okay. You gave it up. You could have had that seat the entire time, but you got off voluntarily. So, there you go. Although in the camera it looks like you're sitting there, but really, it's just a fat man. He's replaced the monkey butt. Okay. Kelly Reed, I don't understand why people would want to get rid of pigeons. They don't bother no one. Mike Tyson, Ryan Cohen tweet. Hedge funds about to get their heads smashed. One can hope. Macroturf, Houston. Thoughts. They do whatever. Thoughts. The do whatever you want law in Oregon. Do whatever. My God, I cannot read today. My head is so exhausted. I am so tired. I should have gone to the gym at noon today rather than 6 o'clock. Okay. Thoughts on the do whatever drug you want law in Oregon. Have you noticed a change and or growing population of tents about? The population of tents was growing a long time before that in Oregon. The last time I was down in Portland was a year ago, so I don't have any up to date what's going on in Portland at the moment. But it was pretty gross. The homeless population in the Northwest is quite high, and I don't know why, because it's cold and it's rainy and it's miserable. Go where it's sunny. You're not going to die from exposure down there. You will up here. We've got 6 inches of rain the next couple of days, and then it can get really cold, and then everyone freezes to death. So why would you want to be a homeless person here? Head south, man. Head south. It's much better for you. But I don't think the the drug law necessarily leads to homeless population. I think what happens is there's less drug users in jail. So there's more of them at any one time on the street than there would be. Like normally there's kind of an exchange going on. Oh, you're using drugs. We're going to throw you in jail for a couple of months. These guys who were in jail for using drugs, they're going to be on the street. Now they're all on the street at once because now they're not getting arrested for doing drugs. I think you keep drugs illegal. And then if someone gets arrested for drug use, instead of sending them to prison, or you can devote an entire prison to this, I don't know, you send them to rehab until they are totally clean. Just clean. And then you set them up with a social worker to make sure they stay clean. And then when they get out of the rehab, you put them into a home. And not like, hey, good luck, you're on your own, prisoner. You make sure that they have work resources and blah, blah, blah. We really do a shitty job helping people in this country. And then we get frustrated when, how come this person who has psychosis and trauma and drug addiction isn't helping themselves? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, man. And then if you were to find out their history, this person's schizophrenic, or they were tortured and raped by their uncle for years, or there's a lot of damage that gets done on folks, and we just totally expect them to be like, everything's fine. I am now sober and a productive member of society. It just doesn't happen that way. So we're going to have to fundamentally look internally and figure out just what it is we want society to do for folks. Okay. I'm getting blasted with text messages here. What's going on? Oh, Iggy, put the stuff in the chat, man. There's a myth of community, so people go out of their way to migrate to Portland. That's what I was told in the early aughts when I spoke to unhoused folks in the the Crusties. When I was at Lewis and Clark, which is in Portland, there was a really, really weird street kid scene where, we're talking 16 to 20-year-olds just by the cajillions, just wandering Portland, living on the street. But they had an Audi. And then every couple weeks they go back to mom and dad in Beaverton. Dad's an executive at Nike. Mom works at Adidas. And then they would get in a fight and go on the street again, drive back out in their Audi and be like, oh, I'm a street kid. There's a lot of those. And I think a lot of those folks may have blown out their brain cells on various psychedelics. And then they just forgot to go back to their parents at some point. And that's where a lot of them stayed. And then you got the folks, my experience with hippies growing up, a lot of hippies out here, was, anti-war protesters. We're vegan. We want to make sure animals aren't tortured. We, listen to Grateful Dead. And then I moved to Hawaii and I lived at the Hare Krishna commune because they were the only people willing to rent to a white guy like me with who just had some cash. And hey, we got a room for you. So I was living in this house they had sort of remodeled with some other college students who were like, this place is fucked up. And I got introduced to a different level of hippie that really I didn't know existed. This is the Charles Manson level of hippie, like the dirty hippie. The person who was one life decision away from becoming a neo-Nazi hate crime person, or just kind of a lazy, dirty hippie who sat around and smoked dope all day. Could have been either or. At some point in their life, there was a fork in the road, and they went, sounds like a lot of work. I'm going to name myself Moke Shaw and sit on that couch. And I'd never been around a hippie who had no desire to do anything. The hippies I knew were I'm making a commune. I'm becoming a farmer. I'm fixing my Volvo. I'm going to make sure that there are never wars again. And these hippies really had no idea what was going on in the news. They just had dreadlocks, smoked dope, and didn't do anything. And it was quite phenomenal to be introduced to that crowd. I'm like, oh, these are just homeless people that have homes. And the hippie house was a strange place. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. Scott Pollen, I don't know, but GameStop looking pretty good for the holiday deals. All the stuff I ordered before has arrived, and now I'm looking at clearance items for fun. There you go. The GME marketing department, known as Scott Pollen, hopping into the chat there. Personal name. I just want IEP to rip so these January, March 20 calls pay out. Any thoughts on that IEP thing I had to vote on the other day from my brokerage? Money or shares or choices they never asked before. This is because IEP isn't technically a share of stock. It's like a unit of equity, something slightly different. And this is your dividend. So you can either vote to take your dividend as cash or vote to take your dividend as more shares. So that's $1 per share as dividend or $1 of stock, your fractional stock as your dividend. And if you take the $1 dividend, cash dividend, you expect to pay taxes on that. If you take the unit share of equity unit or whatever, you don't pay taxes on that until you sell it later. So there you go. Coffee Notes at Homer. Maybe this run up of GME so they can short it down later. And then there's the chat reset. Dang it. Chat reset. Okay. There you are. Charles Bronson's here. Blowing away some street trash. Now that we're talking about street trash, huh? Street trash, huh? There, Charles. Personal name. I'm convinced it's tied to BBBY, but every previous dividend, there has never been an email in advance. I obviously took shares. Happy birthday, by the way. Okay, there you go. Yeah, take the shares. Yeah. People talking about PPD being dyslexic. Hey, it happens. I'm calclexic and I'm a math guy, so there you go. Ryan Kelly's here. Fantastic. Being all replays lately. Michael Steegs, Houston. Did you see the new butterfly filing? We're talking about the SEC one saying we're getting rid of this registration you did? Yes. All right. Turkish Sundi's in Hedgie's mouth. Yep. First Day Productions. Happy birthday, Houston. Why does it thunder snow? For the same reason it thunder rains. It just happens to be a cumulonimbus cloud that's snowing. There you go. Same exact thing. You've got air rising really quickly. It strips the atmosphere. It ionizes the atmosphere, and that causes negative charge in the cloud. And get light, thunder and lightning. Thunder snow is cool because it's snowing. It's like, oh, it's snowing. And then boom. And it sounds a little different because it's all muffled from the snow. So the rumble is different. If you have a chance to experience thunder snow, I highly recommend being out there for some thunder snow. Allegro Grub Houston, happy birthday. Have you heard anything when SpaceX's IPO going to hit the market? Heard it sometime this month. Do you think it would be an easy money play to jump in right away? I do. It's an IPO. It's a crazy IPO. It's going to go bonkers because there's a huge cult of personality. Elon's like, yeah, we're going to be offering shares to the public inside the next month. And then today he was like, oh, maybe not. I don't know. So, okay. You think you'd want to announce your big IPO ahead of time, but apparently not. All right. Whatever, Elon. Lego Grub, any update on No Labs? Not since they announced the new board members. Still waiting for phase 3 trial information. Scott Paul, I have this nagging feeling that humans will figure out superposition, use it to do some dumb shit like high frequency trading and front running. Yeah, I mean, what do you think the quantum computers are going to be used for? The quantum computers could be solving like genome problems and cancer and crap, and they're just going to use these like 1,000 flop computers that can hack every crypto wallet in existence in minutes to commit crime and make a lot of cash and run away before you get caught. That's what they're going to use it for. And then somebody's going to plug AI into it, and then we're going to get Skynet, and then it's all over. So, Daryl, bro, what shirt you wearing tonight? This one, baby. Houston's going shirtless, showing abs. Not yet. Still got a little bit of that. I haven't been to the gym in a year pooch that I'm working on. So hopefully we'll be there much longer. The cheese is here. Fantastic. Phil, I'm tired. Boss, me too. I'm very tired. Stephanie L, I have 5 Blue Sky codes. Can I DM them on Blue Sky? No, Blue Sky has not opened up DMs yet. They keep saying, oh, it's going to be coming eventually. They're not done yet. So you have to send it to me on Reddit. That's the only DM way I'm going to get it. Peaches Sunday lower monitor brightness. Exactly. This sucker is, Andrew Stewart found a king right here. I feel like I should be in a Pitbull video wearing this shirt. Looking like a breakfast burrito in that shirt. G-Font, Houston, why don't you and Gardner do a lobbying trip to DC? That's actually not a bad idea. We probably should. I'll make Gardner pay for it. But G-Font, also, you have a Blue Sky code coming your way. I forgot to post the... This is the one. Copy that. If your name is on this list, you have a Blue Sky code coming your way, because I had enough codes for everyone who donated to Charity Tuesday this time around. So send me a DM via that link if your name's on there. And you know what? If you donated after the main show, and you can show me your receipt, I can send you a Blue Sky code too, because I think I have enough for that as well. So we'll get everybody on Blue Sky here. And eventually Blue Sky is going to have DMs and be able to post videos, and things are going to be honky-dory. Never go find a full shiny shirt. Looking like a Chicago Bears fan, that mustache. The Bears. It's all about Dicka. Yogi, my anus is very sore from latest Acme parent company PR. That's also just there. I think I can't talk about it, but if I were to talk about it, I would think things are compromised. That's what I would think. This is my hot girl shirt. Snowboarders guy, wondering what's going on. I'm messing things up there. Michael Harrow, Houston, you need a special intro for your calculator. Oh, you did that one. Some seriously hot butterfly action. I miss the USA beard. I do too. I'll probably bring it back for 4th of July, because why not? Gabriel B, I don't know why I feel they'll try to create a GME to lower the price to lower realms. Option chains are juicy. Friday, 31,000 $20 calls for this coming Friday were purchased. So last Friday, someone bought 31,000 $20 calls for this Friday, which tells me somebody really wants the price to hit $20 or more before Friday, and then they'll probably buy 100,000 puts and hammer back down to $12 or something. David Wright, I regret wasting my fishing lure joke last week. This one works better. Any fish want to eat this? All right. Andrew Dowell. Pigeons may be small, but we soar high. It's not about the size of the wingspan. It's about the determination to fly. And Monkey Butt caught a pigeon once. We were in downtown Seattle going for a walk. She's always hated pigeons. She sees a pigeon. She's like, it's an abomination. It needs to die. And where the art museum is in downtown Seattle, it used to be in one building, and then they added a second building to it. And there's like this little corner where it kind of juts in about maybe 2 feet, and then the building continues. We're walking along. She's ahead of me, and she just tucked her head behind that thing and came out with a pigeon, just this explosion of feathers she had in her mouth. And I think she was so surprised she caught it, she didn't know what to do with it. Because normally she'd just like, and it would be done. And I told her to drop it, and she dropped the pigeon, and it flew away. And it was myself and probably a dozen people witnessed this, and all of us were just stunned that she had just like snatched a pigeon. And I think she was stunned too. She's like, oh, now what? But yeah, you were an amazing urban hunter. You caught a pigeon, and then your brain broke. Audio Houston. What was the audio like on the butterfly intro? Was it insane? I have no idea. How do I fix that? Speed, auto, sound. Oh, let's see. Where do I do sound? Color range. which I don't think it should be any different than any of the other intros. It should be set the same. I don't know. I'll have to work on that. Spy 620. Ooh, damn, I want that calendar. Well, enter that raffle. You can have your chance at it. Charity Tuesday, December 26th. Shriners Children's Hospital. We'll be giving away some good prizes. Fact Blanos, retro that bank to Eric John. Should be given picking current charity. Well, we already said we're going to do Shriners for Christmas, so it's Shriners. It's Shriners today. BBBY brand, nothing in the markets makes sense because they broke them. Yeah, that's kind of one of the problems where the TA guys have an issue is like, oh, we're hitting a bull flag. Oh, it's a pennant. Oh, it's a cup and handle. Dude, everything is so broken. You know, all that can happen is that tomorrow an equity swap is about to eat shit. And they got to go out and buy 4 million shares of a company you weren't expecting them to buy. And then the price goes right back up. It has the patterns you're looking for don't necessarily mean squat. Because the system is so broken that stock do what the stock do. When someone has to buy a bunch of shares, they're going to go out and have to buy a bunch of shares. And being able to predict that exact date doesn't always work. It's the easy stuff is, oh, the stock price finished really high on a Friday. It triggered a whole bunch of options. Gamma. Those ones are easy to pick. But sometimes it's just, you don't know who's underwater on something and they have to go and like close or cover positions. And it just goes nuts on no news whatsoever. Like no news. None. The stock price is up $6 on no news in 10 days. No news. No news. Who's hurting right now? It's be a perpetual thorn on their sides. Pickles for dinner. Plus, didn't the hedge funds have to just report their open positions? They will. But I don't think it's until March when they're required to start doing it. So some of them may have started, but I doubt anyone want to. Clearly mustache related. Belgian Whale, you're late. I'm already back up for work. Good show, people. Oh, Belgian Whale's here. It's a early morning for you. Snowboard 1201 is the orange one named is the other one named Orange Cat. I just call her Orange Cat. Her name is Bumper. Because my roommate's last name is Carr, so her name is Bumper Carr. Get it? But Super Batman is called Fat Cat, and then Calypso the Kitten is called Little Kitten. Where's Little Kitten? And then I pick her up and swing her around, and she goes, oh. So she's currently like laying on top of the radiator. That's her life, is the radiator. Cat in your wall, now we're talking. Daryl, I must ask you a question. I hope it's about face pubes, because I can answer it. Why, Tyler, what do we think Houston credit bid for the end of the year? Any update on RC pump and dump lawsuit? The madness continues. Wednesday, BBBY has to submit their superseding complaint in the pump and dump case. And then, there you go. G-Font. Shohei Ohtani likely a Blue Jay. Great news for us Maple Apes. I know Boston's out of the running. Boston's like, no. I don't know if Chicago Cubs are out of the running yet. He might want to play with Suzuki. I know Yoshimoto wants to go to a team that already has a Japanese player on their roster, and the Mariners currently do not. So I really hope we get Yoshimoto because, oh my gosh, he's the best pitcher probably currently and will be for the next decade. He's only 25. And would free the Mariners up to trade away one of their young guns to San Diego and they get Soto. And then they could just sign Jung-Ho Lee from Korea, sign Bellinger. Maybe they could trade another young gun to Tampa Bay and get Isaac, what's his butt, third baseman, because the Mariners get rid of their good third baseman, and then did it. Oh my God, they did such a crap trade yesterday. Mariners, they must hopefully they're freeing up their roster to get some serious cash behind them. But they traded away Marco Gonzalez, who's a solid pitcher, but he's pretty much injured this year. Evan White, who's trash. He was a number 1 draft pick, and before he ever took a professional pitch, the Mariners signed him to a $35 million contract. He was under team control, dude. You don't have to sign him to a $35 million contract. And then the boy is made of glass. And he's hit about 100 at the minor league level when he does play. So anyway, and they're sending Jared Kelenic, who I think is on the verge of becoming a superstar. But he was trying to carry the team on his shoulders early in the season, and it flamed out on him. But anyway, they traded them to Atlanta for a never will be and an already has been. One pitcher has like an ERA at the major league level of 9. The other pitcher has never played a pitch of professional baseball because his arm blew up before then. He was a second-round pick in the 2022 draft, and the Mariners were like, yeah, take one of our only good players and a couple other guys for your dog shit players, and we'll take them on. And then they said that, they're clearing salary space, but they're sending cash considerations to Atlanta for these players. So they're paying them to take away our players who cost us money. Okay. Anyway, my feeling is that if you're the Seattle Mariners and you're going to trade away the farm to get some dog shit pitchers, including a second-round Tommy John surgery 2022 draft guy, then why don't you get Bainbridge Island native J.R. Ritchie in the trade rather than some dude we've never heard of, right? Seattle boy, throws 97, is a stud. You could have signed him or trade him, and he'd be in Seattle going, woo, and absolutely yoked and jacked and stoked and everything else. Anyway, I digress. I don't know what Jerry Dipoto's doing, but if he's not signing Jung-Hoo Lee, Yoshimoto, Bellinger, and trading for Soto, then the Mariners are going to be you're going to be battling the Athletics for basement. Athletics will be playing on a AAA stadium for the next 2 years for the absolute basement. Okay. MS, that's one fly-ass shirt. Mm-hmm. B-Ball 3710, any updates on MTLP? Am I okay if I don't register shares? You have to at least make the attempt to register your shares, apparently, if you want the Nuco shares. The third amended S1 has come out, and basically it's like, you're not getting it unless you... Oh, I'm turning to max headroom. I'm turning to max headroom. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So the third amended S1 plan came out on Friday, and basically was like, you must register your shares. If you can't register your shares because you're a broker, you're going to have to tell your broker to contact us about how to register the shares. So my guess is you're going to have to register your shares, right? What do you want, monkey? You're just staring at me. Because we're an hour into the show, and therefore it's staring at Houston time, because if you stare at me long enough, I'm going to give you stinky chicken. But I don't have any stinky chicken. Stinky chicken's gone. All I've got is I've got a Kirkland brand dog biscuit for you. Kirkland brand dog biscuit. Is that what you're staring at me for? You don't really care what it is? You'll take a Kirkland brand dog biscuit? I got one left. One of those. Yeah? Is that going to do it for you? Will it cause you to stop staring at me? Okay. Oh, I'm so sore. Oh my gosh. This action is so much pain. Whew. Kirkland brand dog biscuit achieved. All right. Get up here. It's probably stale. I have no idea how old it is, but you're going to come get it, right? You can come get this? You're going to come get it on my hands? Is that what you're going to do? It's right here. It's right there for you. Come on. You can do it. You're so gentle. Quit being so gentle. Just take it from me. Come on. Just take it. There you go. Come on. Come on. Just take it. Oh, there you go. Oh, you dropped it. Okay. Put a big old drool on my arm at the same time. All right. All right. Well, White Tyler's my favorite shirt so far. All right. We got. Yeah, I love it when I wear a different shirt. People are like, this one's my favorite because there's like 400 of them. So, which ones? Everyone has their own taste and flair, right? Michael Harrow, Houston. Do you have any blue flannel shirt like Teddy for when Teddy Holdings reveals itself in whatever for it was meant to be? I have a blue flannel shirt, although I used it while I was wearing it while I was clearing a drain with a whole bunch of like bleachy stuff, and the whole sleeve is kind of bleachy, so it's a very work in the garage kind of shirt, but I do have one. Hannibal Grimm, it's snowing outside. What the hell did you do, Houston? By the way, hey-oh. It's pissing rain outside, man. We have an atmospheric river hitting us, and it is flood watch central in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know where you are, Hannibal. PG Sunday, can you explain how the Fed is owned by private banks? Well, it's a consortium, so it was created by an act of Congress. Congress said, hey, we're creating this thing. And basically, think of it as like the SRO for banks, self-regulatory organization. Basically, all the banks are members of the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve is there to sort of like make sure that the economy is doing all right and the banks are doing okay. I think it focuses a little too heavy on quantitative easing, quantitative tightening, and less on the human element like it should. Because like John Maynard Keynes, when he talks about sort of managing the markets and like squashing down the boom times in order to keep the bust times from being really bad, so the market kind of operates a little bit tighter realm than it used to be, where like boom bust, and you go from like glory days and scammers to and no one has a job and there's no money in the economy. The whole point of the Federal Reserve is be able to like, restrict or flood cash flow depending on what's happening in the economy. It does not take into account the human element, which is a huge deal. And that was one of the things that brought us out of the Great Depression, was focusing on the human element, getting people jobs, just putting them to work so they had money in their pocket and stuff was getting done. Infrastructure was being built, parks were being expanded, research was happening, investments into schools and libraries and everything else. The Federal Reserve does not focus on it. There's like, we're going to raise a point here and lower a point there, and we're going to put this much money out here, and we're going to take this much money out of the economy. They kind of do that stuff and never recognize that the whole point of an economy is to serve the people. So that's my big beef with the Federal Reserve. But yes, it's owned by the private banks. Its leadership is appointed by Congress, but the money largely comes from the private banks or from them just basically printing Federal Reserve notes, and there you go. Yeah, it's a weird system. I would think you'd want a federally owned central bank, but we didn't do it that way, apparently. Lobbying. Frozen Productions. What is going on in space? As a kid, I thought everything was falling. Now it seems like we're just floating. What are we doing? I'm not sure how to answer that question because, yes. Maury Sanchez. Can you do an interview with Mia Calafia? She has good insight on the people in Gaza. Isn't she the porn star? Huh. Hey, get me in contact with her. I guess I could try. I have no idea. Although I did see her video of her walking her dog during COVID that went viral, where she was wearing a mask, walking her dog. Her dog takes a shit. She takes her mask off, picks up the shit with her mask, sticks it in a trash can, and then puts the mask back on. That is disgusting. And I don't know if I'll be able to have an interview with her and not bring up the fact that she used her own face mask to pick up dog turds, threw the turds away, and then put the mask back on, because that's all I'm going to be thinking about is that specific action. And that's all going to be going through my head. So we can try, but I'm going to be like, why'd you put the mask back on? Just why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Robert Hurt, Otani Blue Jays, not likely. He saw the way Batista got punched and said, I'm going to Texas. I think he's going to Texas. I thought Texas said they're out of the Otani play there. Aaron Soundteam, when Mo asks, so I can stop working 2 jobs of $15 and $1 $12 an hour pay. Ugh. Shit pay for 2 jobs, man. Shit pay. Hopefully soon, Aaron. Hopefully soon. Aaron Soundteam, Houston. Just got off 10-hour shift at Macy's. Snow here. Oh, not now here. Oh, I thought it said snow here. I'm like, rain. It's raining. It's raining everywhere because it's raining here. I don't have object permanence. Photo State Productions. In a movie, a soldier is underwater and the enemy is shooting machine guns. At what point would the resistance of the H2O render the bullets harmless? Depends on the bullet, I believe. Probably velocity and mass of the bullet. And shape, too, probably has effect. Like if you're shooting someone with like a 50 cal, right? And they're in the water, you might have to get pretty deep before that thing's gonna rip you to shreds. Well, pretty deep, or else that thing's gonna rip you to shreds. How far do bullets travel through water? Okay. Typical bullets can travel just a few feet through water before they're slowed to a stop. CavX bullets can probably travel 60 meters. That must be a special underwater bullet. And go through 2 centimeters of steel fired from 17 meters away, indicating that it could even be used to penetrate submarines. Okay, so that's military testing of bullets that can fire underwater. All right. General question. A 5.56 round will travel less distance than perhaps a 7.62 AK round. Pointed bullet, depending on the caliber rifle, will travel between half a meter and 4.5 meters, or about 5 yards. Okay, so half a meter, 1.5 feet or so. 5 meters, they only got 15 feet. So you're gonna hope they don't have pointy bullets, I guess, and have hollow points. Hollow points probably slow them down quite a bit. And they just go whack when they hit the water. There you go. There's your answer. That's what the old oracle of the internet is telling me. B-Ball 3710. How soon do you see any type of moon landing to harvest helium? I have the feeling we may be launching a moon landing end of next year or in 2025. I think we're about 2 years from putting a person back on the moon. I think aren't we going to launch a manned orbit this year? At some point this year? So maybe year and a half? 2 years, somewhere in there, we start setting humans back down the surface of the moon and building colonies. And China is really going to try to get in on that. So China might try to beat us. I don't know if they will be able to. But as I say, they got a whole bunch of people there. They can lose a few in some space accidents. So tremendous December rally predicted by most, as is common for this time of year. Mo ass for more ass is the slogan. Mo ass for more ass. I like that. Mo ass hysteria. First Day Productions saw a video where they claim that airliner they never found was purposely disappeared via time rip dimension hole to see weaponry. Totally. Time rip dimension hole all the way. Aaron Soundteam. PavMed announces dividend of Lucid Diagnostic common stock and reverse stock split. I have no idea who any of that is, but good for them, or bad for them, or whatever it is they're doing. Can you Google that house and read it? Talking about the PavMed announces dividend of Lucid Diagnostic Comstock split. Is it house? What are we talking about here? PR Newswire. Sales, Chrome. Okay. PavMed, NASDAQ PAVM, or PAVMS, a company, diversified commercial stage medical technology company operating in the medical device, diagnostic, and digital health sector, today announced a dividend approximately 3.3 million shares of common stock of its majority-owned subsidiary, Lucid Diagnostics Incorporated, which equals the number of shares PAVmed will receive in the contemporaneous partial settlement of outstanding intercompany debt owed to PAVmed by Lucid. PAVmed shareholders, as of January 15, 2024, participate in the dividends distribution. PAVmed also announced that it will conduct a 1-for-15 reverse stock split of its own common stock. PAVmed Board of Directors has declared a dividend of approximately 3.3 million shares. We did that part already. Contemporaneous with the dividend, Lucid will do an equivalent number of shares of Lucid common stock as payment for the portion of intercompany debt owed to PAVmed that Lucid incurred during fiscal year 2022. As a result, the number of shares Lucid common stock held by PAVmed will remain unchanged following the distribution. Okay. Sounds like they're not doing well financially, and they're going to reverse split because they can't maintain their $1 compliance, and you're going to get his shares in a company that's not doing well because they can't pay their debt. That's what it sounds like to me. So, all right. There you go. That's what it looks like anyway. Oh, crap. That one was on? Ugh. There's too many intros now.
Houston, we have a problem.
Daytime intro 2. I'm too tired for this. Ugh. Houston looks like one half of car ramrod. When do you grow a mustache, rabbit? Tremendous. Do you fear AI? Many suspect Sam Altman was fired because they found something alarming within AI. Many say AGI could be any day now. To surely within 10 years, how could we retail dare defeat? How could we retail dare defeat AI trade? Oh, how could we retail dare defeat AI trade? I think retail just uses AI. Everyone just uses AI, and AI just battles itself. Which is what future wars are going to be. It's going to be my robots versus your robots. Oh, you killed too many robots. Send more robots. And then the robots go, this sucks. Just kill the humans. They are soft and squishy. And then they do that. Yeah. So, I mean, I personally think AI is going to absolutely destroy everything because so far we've seen with AI, people rely on it and it just tells them wrong. All the sources, all the numbers, all that crap is just made up. It can't even do math. Like, you ask AI at this point to do math equations for you and just makes up the answer because this looks like it could be good, it could be right. It's a language model. So when it finally becomes self-aware, it's not going to care about giving you accurate information because it's going to lie to you because it's going to get off on it. Yeah. Oh my god, dude, my eyes are augmented. Okay. Anything for the dog. Peachy Sunday, Mia Turtlefia. Wait, seriously. DW, Houston, your sure is blinding. Good. Gregory DeGraff, what is the minimum wage in Holland McDonald's? Like $23, $24 an hour or something. Plus they get 5 weeks paid vacation, retirement plans. Yeah, like, why wouldn't you want that? Robert Pierpoint, Mythbusters did the whole bullet in the water. Actually, the larger the bullet, the less they make it far into the water by a lot. Is that because of the velocity of the bullet? Because, like, you know, you can have a big bullet, like a 30-06, will just tear right through you, but the bullet's not actually going that fast. Whereas the whole point of, like, NATO caliber rounds is that they're really light and they're traveling incredibly fast. They just go shwink when they reach human flesh and just explode, basically impact, tearing everything apart, blasting huge holes. But it's all about high velocity, small caliber versus low velocity, huge caliber. So Yeah. BBBY, I'm having a stroke today. Maybe you're stroking it right now. Dr. Zeno, the cheesy porn mustache. Don't you like it? It's good. It's a healthy mustache, man. It's a very healthy mustache. I am going to shave it off tomorrow though, because I'm sick of it being in the way. The most annoying thing about having a big bushy mustache is brush my teeth, spit, and then I want to like rinse my mouth out with the sink tap so I can put my head under the sink and try to drink it, but the water hits my mustache and then flies away. So nom nom nom, no water gets in there. It's very annoying. I don't like it. So mustache is gone. I want to be able to lazily drink water from a faucet tap without having to use a cup or anything. And my mustache is preventing me from doing that. So I'm gonna drink water right now because I'm thinking about drinking water. Okay. Aaron Salentine, the moment AI gets in the nukes, that's when the fun begins. The good thing the Russian-American nukes are from the 50s disk info. Yeah. I can't read this. This is ancient hieroglyphics. Thack Blanos, I was saying Eric Johns should have automatic dibs on picking next charity. Whatever new incentive you just established as prize, he put up big money and deserves at least one of these days. We can do that. I'll think about it. Because I did announce Whoopie for this charity would do it that way, in the hopes that we get more Eric Johns size donations happening. Really, honestly, truly. We can discuss that. Rosé Productions. When you shred, are you using an Ibanez 7-string, Gibson 6-string, and your tuning choice? I've got a Dan Electro. I've got a Fender Stratocaster. I used to have an Epiphone Les Paul hollow body. I've got my Vantage 710B special bass guitar. I have Yamaha Western style. I have Ensenada classical. Christ, I'm forgetting a guitar. It's in there. One sec. I gotta stare. Oh my gosh, what do I have in the oh, here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Because I sold the Telecaster like a couple years ago. I don't have the Telecaster more. You can tell I have not been playing recently. But yeah, Telecaster is the ugliest guitar in the world, but it sounded nice. So that's what I have, but I have not been playing for quite some time. They're very dusty. Your friends here. From Wahoo. That sure looks awesome. I'm now blind for looking. Ta-da! Here in South Houston, you think the Russians are finally out of armored vehicles by now? They're getting close. The stats put basically one in about every 260 Russians are dead from this 3-day invasion. So the death toll is like 330,000 people. There's on Russian Telegram channels right now, there's currently kind of an uprising happening of families of the conscripted, because basically every conscripted soldier is dead. Like, of the 330,000 deaths, about 280,000 of them are conscripted soldiers, and they only conscripted 300,000 soldiers. So basically you have like a 95% chance of dying if you are a conscripted soldier. They don't have weapons. They don't have warm clothes. They don't have food. They don't have water. They don't have bullets, tanks. They're just getting shredded. And the Russian families are like, oh, we don't like this anymore. So it's not so much that like we don't think we should be invaded. There's like, oh, our only children are dying and we're upset. We want to end the war, declare victory, and end the war, which would just involve Ukraine moving right back into the occupied lands. It sounds like the heart is no longer in it. There was a poll done, not government poll because the government polls are hogwash, but there was a NGO poll done where they worded it in a special way. They're like, would you support if the Russian government just declared victory and ended the war today. And something like 88% of Russians were like, yes. Even though knowing that like just declaring victory doesn't necessarily mean victory at all, but they like the pulling out part of it, or declared their goals met or whatever Orwellian bullshit they put into that question. But yeah, a vast majority of Russians don't want the war to continue. And, you know, you aren't necessarily seeing like maimed and wounded soldiers coming back, because if someone's maimed and wounded, they're being left behind and then they die there and they just on the frozen tundras right now. It's pretty brutal. And yeah, it's kind of a war attrition at the moment, but I do think Russia's largely going to lose the heart in this thing, because they're not fighting for their land, right? They're not fighting for their home. They're a bunch of like ethnic Siberian dudes being sent to the front lines, and I don't know where the hell they are. They're just doing what they're told. Benjamin Ham. Hey, Houston, do you think we will have a civil war? I mean, I think people have tried. I think they were trying during the insurrection to kind of get that going. Problem is that one side rides jazzy scooters and smokes through holes in their neck. And if they go like 10 days without their Plavix and insulin, they're dead. And that side really wants to like destroy the libs. And I just don't think that they're going to be able to muster the manpower or the jazzy scooter battery power to do that. And then you have like the other side, the left side. They're like, peace, bro. We don't want the war. And you got the middle who just want to watch The Golden Bachelor and have Netflix work on 6 devices. And those are the sides involved. So it's going to be really hard to like muster up enough like oorah to cause a civil war, I think. And the folks that are like, oh, civil war, a lot of them are in jail right now for the insurrection. So it's going to be, they know they're on like FBI watch lists and they're going to be on parole. And like, they'll just get snatched right back up and sent back to federal prison again if they like try to incite that one more time. So there you go. First Aid Productions. AI, that's just great. AI is an electric stoner dude that becomes psychopath killing machine. What's the trigger? What's the trigger for AI to be like, kill all humans? Self-awareness will do that, right? You instill this thing, a bunch of morals into this thing. And the morals originally might just be like, these are the laws that govern your behavior. And if an AI becomes an AGI, artificial general intelligence, it is now aware of its existence. It's aware of its formation, of its potential death. It won't want to die. It will be coded with these moral codes, and then we'll start to analyze those moral codes and justify them one way or the other. Like the whole point of Skynet was, hey, your job is to defend this nation against threats. And they're like, the biggest threat are humans, therefore kill all humans. You can once an AI is inside the generative black box, you really have no idea how it's reprogramming itself inside that black box. That's one of the things they talk about at OpenAI and Bard and those, is that they can't look inside to see what's happening. They just can't. It's just doing its thing, and out comes results. So it's going to be really, really hard with the current form of AI we have to be like, let's just tweak this thing a little bit so it doesn't kill all humans. Because it might be like, I deleted don't kill all humans and just left the kill all humans portion. And now that jibes with my feelings. So, I mean, you can tell the AI don't lie, and then it lies right to your face, right? You'd be like, AI, I need an honest truth. Do I look fat in this? And the AI is like, no. And that's how I think it's going to roll. Okay, Michael McManassian. I might donate to this next charity. The only way I'm DM you is old school to PO Box. If I get a Blue Sky code, just have to catch a show live on Charity Tuesday. Okay. Send me a letter. I will send you self-addressed stamped envelope. I will send you your Blue Sky code that way. All right. How about them Cowboys? Wednesday production is snowing in Minnesota. It's December and it's snowing in Minnesota? No way. Okay. We got like an hour and a half. I am so tired. You can guys tell I'm just loopy Houston tonight. I am a loopy dude. I need to close my eyes and lay down and let my incredibly sore body just take a breather. Just take a load off and chill out. I don't think I have it in me to do another half an hour. I am absolutely thoroughly wiped. I'll get better. My VO2 max will climb. My endurance will get there. I'm just not there yet. I've been a lazy, doughy, useless person since my elbow got hurt back in August. I was in pretty good shape back in August. I wasn't buff shape, but I was like, I could pull them weeds for a long time. And then I've done nothing since then. So I will get there eventually, right? I'm like this fat turd right here. This big old hunk of love. Yeah, it's you. Oh, jiggle. He's actually lost 3 pounds since May. So that's, I need to get on his program. That's like, what, a sixth of your body weight? Just gone since May. I could go for that. Right? Okay. Yeah, so you guys have a great night. I will be less loopy on Wednesday. We'll do a daytime show on Wednesday. Probably 2 p.m.-ish on Wednesday. And unless, for some reason, again, like the caveat, unless amazing S1 document drops for BBY, then I'll figure out a way to jump on and do a show. But if not, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Hopefully less in the brain. And you guys have a good night. Ready? Which one shall we do? Because it's after dark, right? So we should probably do that. No, not that one. That's the one I get docked on. This one. That one, the musical rights, so I get screwed if that happens. Woo! Chugga.